the state grand jury report says is helping criminals do crime behind bars. Also had a new place to help those who need mental health care, and they might not otherwise have access to it. Your News at 10 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 10 on BTV.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Brad Means. Thank you for joining us. Coverage you can count on begins with the effort to stop organized crime in prison. Well, he's been on the job for 6 months now, and Aiken County Sheriff Marty Sawyer taking time to talk to News Channel 6 today. He says he's building trust, boosting morale, and delivering on promises. The sheriff highlighting his efforts to add school resource officers and boost patrols in rural parts of Aiken County. He's launched community events, including Coffee with a Cop, and stepped up crime fighting with weekly patrol saturations and upgraded tech. And now there are plans for a new sheriff's office.
We don't have the office space for all the people we have now. We have 3 or 4 divisions that have offices in jail cells where the prisoners used to stay before the new jail was built. So, this building's not big enough. Technology.
Sheriff Sawyer says he plans to break ground on the new sheriff's office by December. Construction should take about a year and a half. It is time now to take a close look at our weather, and for that, let's check in with our chief meteorologist, Jenna Petracci. Rain still going on, or is that looking back at what we went through this afternoon and tonight?
Yeah, good question, Brad. So we do have some storms still continuing to move in, but earlier today we had a lot of widespread rain, and that was mostly down in our southern line counties. And you can see that's where we picked up over 2 inches in some spots where you're seeing that yellow color. Other places where you're seeing the green picked up around 1 inch. But our northwestern counties stayed mostly dry today. But you can see here on Live Viper 6 that we're not done with the rain yet. So just some spotty light activity down towards the southeast. But look at these storms moving in now from the northwest. These are impacting places like Athens and Covington. Taking a closer look here, you can see some heavy rain and frequent lightning. So if you're in Wilkes County around Washington, you're probably starting to hear that thunder now. This is our Terry Limbert Hyundai Skyview cam over in Athens, Georgia. I'll leave it up on the screen for a second in hopes that we'll see some lightning. It was just lighting up. There we go. I knew it was coming. So yes, a powerful storm there with the possibility of frequent cloud-to-ground lightning. Today's almanac shows that we had a high of 95 and a low of 71. Picked up just under 1/10 of an inch of rain at Augusta Busch Field. And currently our temperatures are in the low 70s. Breeze coming in from the southwest up to around 25 miles per hour. Coming up, I'll have more details on your forecast for the rest of tomorrow, so be sure to stay with us. But back to you, Brad.
All right, Jenna, thanks. Augusta leaders moving closer to finalizing the list of projects for the next phase of the sales tax. Administrator Tamika, a new mental health center is open in Augusta, and that is good news for people who might not have had access to that kind of care. Hannah McDonald has more.
The Lamar Wellness Center near the Turpin Hill neighborhood is offering care for our underserved population. The center is a new addition to the Lamar Medical Center. Mental health has been an ongoing concern in our community, and this new center is a way for people to get the help they need.
The anxieties and the depressions and the sexual trauma, the traumas in their life, the marital issues, the relationship issues. That's what we're here for, to give them those coping mechanisms that they need to deal with everyday life issues that kind of seem to bombard them and make them overwhelmed.
July is Black, Indigenous, and People of Color Mental Health Awareness Month. Ramsey hopes the center will eliminate some of the stigma around mental health in the African American community.
We just don't acknowledge, it's sad to say that we have these things in our family and we say, oh, that's just the way they act. They always act like that. We don't identify it as a concern until it gets too bad.
There is also a food and clothing bank in the Resources Center for those in need. Ramsey tells me the medical center was the perfect place to add a wellness center to be able to reach more people.
It was so lacking in this area because there's really nowhere else, unless you're going to be hospitalized, for mental health concerns. I want them to know that we are here for them. We have empathy for them, not sympathy. We have empathy for them and compassion for everybody.
The center is part of the Beulah Grove Community Resources Center, which was chartered by Beulah Grove Baptist Church in 1993. In Augusta, Hannah McDonald, WJBF News Channel 6.
A groundbreaking ceremony today for a new home for a local veteran. It's a project that actually began in 2023. Senior Judge James Blanchard and others wanted to help vets. They saw the need for a home repair job for Bradley Slater. The group is getting help now from Columbia County, Wesley United Methodist Church, Habitat for Humanity, and local contractors and suppliers.
I have to thank the court. I really do. And the Methodist Church, these people have been so kind to me. And Habitat for Humanity, everything that they've done for us it's amazing. It really is. We feel very blessed.
The build should take a year, year and a half. Once it's finished, Slater and his family can move out of the mobile home they've been living in on that property. Residents and business owners meeting tonight to talk about the future of Wilkes County. CERCAP's Pathways to Prosperity program aims to support workforce development efforts by investing in small businesses through loans and educational programs. The goal is to build businesses in rural areas and give young people a reason to stay home after graduation.
Right now, about 70% of our population leaves the county to go to work every day. So we're hoping to bring it back and bring businesses back.
People like to tout how important small businesses are, but they don't really understand how many truly make up the economy here. And if you look around, it's mostly small businesses. It's a matter of getting them the funding that they need to be as successful as they possibly can be to serve an already very small community.
CERCAP's next meeting is tomorrow in Burke County, 5 p.m. at the YMCA.
Well, we had a severe weather threat and a flash flooding threat today, and that will continue into our Thursday and Friday. But how's the weekend shaping out? I'll have the answer when we return.
Davis Appliance and Furniture, family owned since 1972, is your one-stop shop for all things for your home. We guarantee to have the lowest prices in town, plus we offer same or next day delivery, and we service everything that we sell. Before you buy elsewhere, come check us out. CSRA is full of amazing women. Women who inspire. Women who innovate. Women who lead. That's why News Channel 6 brings you Women to Watch.
On the last Wednesday of each month, News Channel 6 recognizes local businesswomen who are making a positive impact in our community.
Nominate someone today at WJBF.com. Sponsored by Goodwill.
Black excellence. Its importance goes beyond just a single month each year. That's why News Channel 6 proudly presents Celebrating Black Excellence 365. Each month will highlight an individual or organization who inspires their community and improves the lives of people around them. If you know a deserving recipient, visit WJBF.com and fill out the nomination form. Celebrating Black Excellence 365. Only on News Channel 6.
Davis Appliance and Furniture has been family owned since 1972. With summer upon us, keep yourself cool with AC window units starting at $149. Plus, all come with warranties, and we service what we sell, and no credit check financing is available.
Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live, Viper 6.
Welcome back. Once again, we're tracking a few more storms moving into our northwestern counties. These are from Atlanta over towards Elberton, impacting Athens, and along I-20, places like Covington and Madison, seeing a ton of lightning right now. Not a good night to be driving along I-20 westbound. Now, you can see on Live Viper 6, we are mostly dry at the moment, but definitely starting to hear that lightning and thunder move in to the CSRA. So heads up if you're in our northern counties, this is moving in very shortly, and it could still be some stronger activity with wind gusts up to around 50 miles per hour, and the storms are moving pretty slowly, so it's dumping a lot of heavy rain. So we're still watching for the possibility of some ponding on the roads late tonight. But as for our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam outside the station, we are nice and dry here in town, 73 degrees, feeling like 70, a west wind of 5 miles per hour, and dew points are in the low 70s. Visibility is okay for now, but we do have some clouds, and by tomorrow morning, the areas that saw the rain today could pick up on some fog when you're headed out early on our Thursday morning. Our temperatures are in the low to upper 70s. repeat. So tomorrow is showing the same thing again. We're starting out dry, low 70s, then low 90s in the afternoon, with showers and storms starting to fire up. So let's go through these different threats for our Thursday and Friday. You can see a slight risk of severe weather for around half the CSRA. That's for wind gusts up to around 60 miles per hour. We also have a threat of damaging wind gusts, just a lower threat for a smaller portion of the area for Friday. So the chance of severe weather goes down. But then back to Thursday, we also have a marginal risk of severe weather for excessive rainfall for most of the area. And then same deal for Friday. So essentially what this is saying is we have that chance of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts for both days and the possibility of some isolated flash flooding. Now tomorrow at noon, that's when we'll start to see those storms fire up. It'll be very isolated in nature, but I am expecting a bit more widespread coverage once we get into the evening hours. So this is by tomorrow at 11 p.m. Widespread rains, pockets of heavier shower and storm activity, thunder and lightning. You know the drill, typical summertime weather for us. Now once we get to Friday afternoon, it's more of the same pop-up activity, and then becomes a little bit more widespread during the evening, and then the chances of rain and storms will go down over the weekend. Drought monitor still looking good. Now the chance of rain today and tomorrow is very high. The good news is that since we haven't had a lot of rain lately, our chance of flooding is lower than some places that already have very saturated ground. Notice for the month of July, we're still under a 1/10 of an inch in Augusta. Now for your weekend weather forecast, it's getting hotter. We're going to be back into those mid-90s, even upper 90s maybe on Sunday, with a high of 96 in Augusta. Now our low temperatures tonight will be right around our average low of 71, and for tomorrow, same deal, we'll be in those low 90s. Our 10-day forecast is showing low to mid-90s over the next 10 days to come. Low temperatures staying around the same as well, with those daily chances of showers and storms continuing into next week.
All right, thank you, Jenna. Coming up, searchers racing against time to find those missing in Texas. Our coverage of the tragic flooding continues.
Transform your bathroom with...
Coming up, a high school football program in Aiken County is getting new turf. How that'll help the team this season.
Every day, ordinary people in the CSRA do extraordinary things to serve our community. Each month, News Channel 6 recognizes these outstanding volunteers with the Giving Your Best Award. Do you know an everyday hero who goes the extra mile to help others? Nominate them for the Giving Your Best Award by visiting WJBF.com and filling out the entry form.
Sponsored by Science Co., Piedmont Augusta, Security Federal Bank, and News Channel 6.
The severe flooding in Texas has devastated communities, and your help can make a difference. To volunteer or donate, scan the QR code on your screen or visit newsnationnow.com/help. News Nation revisits the...
Now, WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
We are just more than 5 weeks until the kickoff of the high school football season in the CSRA, and there will be a lot of changes this year. Not only are there a lot of new head coaches, including 6 out of the 7 Columbia County schools, but it's also a brand new day for schools in Aiken County. Silver Bluff is one of the schools that has installed field turf for the upcoming season. The grass field that played host to 5 state championship teams, and second-year head coach Matt Hayes is using the new field to usher in a new era of Bulldog football.
We were the first ones to practice on this new surface. Kind of took a moment with the guys to say, you don't get a chance to say the first ever, and we're very appreciative of this field. And this place is very, very important to this community, to this school, and to these guys. The dog pound is what it is, but to kind of put a new surface on it gives these guys the opportunity to train year-round on it. Very excited about it.
The Bulldogs finished last season strong, winning 2 of their final 3 games to make the playoffs. Practice officially begins for South Carolina high schools on July 31st. Well, in other high school news, the Georgia High School Association's Reclassification Committee tabled discussions for a potential new reclassification system. Now, the current system will be in place until 2028. However, that could change with the new system that would rank teams based on performance and not the enrollment numbers. It would also bring back playoffs that included both public and private schools competing in the same brackets. Currently, public and private schools compete in separate playoff brackets. Well, the Augusta Green Jackets were supposed to play the Salem Red Sox in their second game of the series, but instead got postponed due to weather and storms in the area. Now, the start about 35 minutes after game 1. Now the Braves continue their series with the Athletics with first pitch just about 15 minutes ago. The Braves struggles though continue following 10-1 against the Athletics last night, losing their 5th straight game. Now there are just 5 games left until the end of the first half of the season, but then 3 Braves players will represent at Truist Park, home to the MLB All-Star Game Tuesday, July 15th. Now Peach Jam is coming up, as in 4 days from now, the Riverview Park Activity Center hosting the EYBL Nike Peach Jam with some of the most talented basketball individuals. Now the tournament will host 3 age divisions of 17 under, 16 under, and 15 under. Now this tournament is in its 29th consecutive year. Stay tuned though to hear from Parks and Rec's director Rick Meyer tomorrow. Brad, back to you.
All right, Gianna, thanks. Still ahead, Mattel releasing a new Barbie doll, the first of its kind. The story after the break.
Mom, we need ice!
I guess I gotta go to Queen City. Welcome to Queen City Home Store. With our price match guarantee and express delivery, we have exactly what you need when you need it. Queen City Home Store, your whole home destination.
Thanks, Mom!
At the Axis One Center.
Every day, ordinary people in the CSRA do extraordinary things to serve our community. Each month, News Channel 6 recognizes these outstanding volunteers with the Giving Your Best Award. Do you know an everyday hero who goes the extra mile to help others? Nominate them for the Giving Your Best Award by visiting WJBF.com and filling out the entry form.
Sponsored by Science Co., Piedmont Augusta, Security Federal Bank, and News Channel 6. Get epic discounts up to 75% off, from electronics to home decor to everything in between. It's a new deal every week. Just scan the QR code or enter WJBF.com and click on Marketplace to start saving now.
And last but not least, Mattel, the maker of Barbie, has released a doll with type 1 diabetes.
The company says they want all kids to see themselves in the dolls that they love.
Rena Roy has the story.
With an insulin pump and glucose monitor, the newest Barbie from Mattel hitting the shelves. The first ever doll with type 1 diabetes, a chronic autoimmune condition that causes the pancreas to make very little insulin or none at all.
And my reaction was an applause. I take care of a lot of patients who both play with dolls like Barbies and a lot of kids who have type 1 diabetes. And when toys come out and they are representative of people who play with them, not only with how they look and the shape of the dolls, but with medical conditions, what it does is it normalizes a very important conversation. It shows that we are different.
Barbie's blue polka dot dress, the global symbol of diabetes awareness. More than 1 million people live with insulin-dependent type 1 diabetes, including Rachel White, a high school tennis player who testified today at a Senate hearing called A Future Without Type 1 Diabetes.
Having low blood sugar can make me feel dizzy, unfocused, and there's a risk of passing out. While most players think about winning the next point, I have to think, am I crashing? Do I need juice? Did I take too much insulin?
These are children who need lifelong blood sugar monitoring. They need lifelong insulin replacement. So you can imagine, for a growing teen, a kid, this is a lot to manage.
White says she was diagnosed at the age of 11.
My life, as I knew it, was suddenly and completely different. At 11 years old, I had to learn how to manage a disease that has no cure and never takes a day off. That was the scary part.
These teens calling for more federal funding and research into the lifelong disease with no cure.
The burden placed on families dealing with type 1 is often invisible and often overlooked. I never want a young girl to think she can't play sports because of her insulin pump. I never want a family to skip doses or ration supplies because of cost. Everyone living with type 1 diabetes deserves the chance to thrive.
There are also Barbies in wheelchairs, others with prosthetic limbs and with Down syndrome. Mattel's saying they want to ensure all kinds of kids can see themselves in the dolls that they love. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Gosh, what a great point. That's really nice.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to elementary school. I had a close friend that had type 1 diabetes, and just thinking how cool it would have been for her to have that doll.
Sure, as they said, to see yourself.
Yeah, and really glad to hear that they have other ones for wheelchairs and all sorts of things.
Yep,
So really cool.
absolutely.
Our 10-day is showing the chance of showers and storms every single day. Very typical summertime weather here, and it's going to be hot and humid. We'll be at 93 tomorrow, 94 on Friday, climbing by a degree each day, eventually up to 96 on Sunday and next Monday. Then we'll see low temperatures in the low 70s, and our highest chances of rain come in next Tuesday and Wednesday.
All right, that does it for us. The news continues, though, at the top of the hour on News Channel 6 at 11.
Hogan's Heroes is